Warning: the content on this channel is for those that are looking for the truth dealing with the metaphysical. Come here with logic and sound reasoning in order to be able to retain the information that comes off these videos. Okay, let's begin.
J1, das Flames, man. J1, that's flames, my bro.
guys? How you guys doing? You're back at SIT, Serious Inner Temple. So we have a little bit to discuss. Of course, you see on screen, we're discussing a particular subject matter. And hopefully we can take you along for the ride and discuss this particular topic dealing with what, you may ask. Of course, most people on the planet would already know by just looking at the image. We're talking about the Black Madonna and her baby, which is supposed to be Yeshua the Mashiach, the messenger that was sent here quite a while back. And a lot of the information has been distorted, mistranslated, confused, misunderstood by many. Even your good book, you like to call it the Bible and stuff like this. A lot of this stuff has been misunderstood for many years. There's been so many rehashed versions. There's been so many people looking at different things. Curiosity has literally gotten to people to the point that they ended up finding these dark images of these dark beings being portrayed as the Christ beings, being the ones that come from the eternal energy, which is the source creator. Now, Anu Elion El, the prime creator, sent down many beings, and we will be discussing that as well in the next video as well. So the next video will also be tied into this one up quite a bit. You'll see why. Now, dealing with this particular incarnation, because this being was prophesied to be born on the planet, that therefore he already existed outside of the physical plane, the physical matter world that we live in. He was already in existence on a spiritual level, and he was coming in to be a messenger to do certain great works, holy works on the planet. And when we deal with the Black Madonna, she is literally the real, what you call Virgin Mary or whatever. She's the real thing. Okay, this Ethiopian woman, she is the real deal. And they were the Moors back in 711 AD. All the way up to leading up to 1492 or whatever. These people, 1492, these people are the real deal. And see, the thing is, many of these churches, your Catholic churches and all these other churches, it is sad to say, but they have literally held back these images for so many years. I mean, we're talking about lifetimes ago. These people, the World Council of Churches, all these different individuals, they all know the truth, and they're not willing to give the truth out to the public. They give you an albinoid image of a man being the Christ. That is not him. They give you an albinoid image of Zadok, which is Joseph. They give you an albinoid image of Mary, which that's not her, but this is what was designed in earlier times, back when they wanted what you refer to as they wanted to have an order of so-called chattel slavery or whatever the case may be. It didn't really work out the way that they planned. Okay, a lot of these movies do not give sharecropping and all those different situations. They don't give it its real credit, because a lot of that stuff, they showed it to you in movies. A lot of it didn't go down like that. The closest the closest movie to what was going on back then would have to be 12 Years a Slave. 12 Years of Slave. It's where that movie was more accurate in a lot of cases to what was going on in the country, but there was a lot of bad things going on as well. People were being killed and brutalized, and our people were fighting back. And when they show you these depictions of our people just standing there being attacked, that's not what happened. Our people were fighting back. Look at the Gullah Wars. Look at the Yamasee Wars, the Black Hawk Wars, the Cherokee Wars, the Black Indian Wars. The Yamasee Wars. I mean, we could keep going. The Niji Wars, The Black Seminole Wars. Huh? The Wiz Khalifian Wars. They don't talk about that either. Okay? The Washita Murr Wars that happened all over this country. I mean, what do you think this whole Nat Turner thing was about? And yeah, you have some misunderstood things and some created characters out there due to trying to hide information and all this other stuff. But understand that the history that they're giving you in the school system, the indoctrination system, is not factual. It is an indoctrination system. It is to make sure that you don't wake up and understand or pay attention to what exactly is going on here. The original people, the ones called black today, and all the other types, like the Dominicans, the Haitians, the Africans, which are really Sumerians, and there's so many different varieties of them in Africa. They don't even all look alike. There's just so many different varieties. Look at the Ethiopian people, and you will see that the Ethiopian people look just like this woman. Okay? Her physical likeness, you'll see portraits of her, and they have the same physical likeness as her. And her son. And her son, from what I understand, he was running around down here and doing great work. He was doing much down here. And you know, they wanted to judge him in some kind of capacity. They wanted to try to mistreat him in some type of way. They were afraid of him because they saw what he could do. People were coming up talking about that they were healed by this man. They were saying this man could walk on water. This man has the abilities that goes beyond our understanding. He's clearly something else. And he was shedding light in the whole world. Explaining to people. People were trying to follow him. People were following him. People understood that there was something else greater than what they understand out here. Why do you think I make these videos? I make these videos as a concerted effort, as a concentrated effort to make sure that our people understand who they are. I'm not perfect. Trust me. I make mistakes just like the next man. But at least I'm honest when it comes to the factual evidence and the real truth about the Christ being his mother. On what is really going on here with this whole religion thing. Religion is a scam. Okay? I'm just going to say it plain down outright. Alright? YouTube, this is not hate speech. I'm not attacking anybody. Alright? These are facts. Religion is used to control the masses out here. Okay? You don't need, listen. You don't need a religion to live your life. It is used to control the world. And yes, all of these people you call humans, the ones that are not connected to the Christ, like me, myself, and you, the carbon-based people, the humans that are walking around, all of them is Christians for the most part. All of them is Christians. They may try to lie to you and this and that. Yeah, they're all Christian. Yeah. They needed to push this propaganda across the whole world to try to make the black man, woman, and child look negative in some type of way and try to destroy their image, destroy all this stuff. Why do you think they made that effort in Kemet to destroy all the noses off of the Egyptian statues and stuff like this? Why do you think they made that effort? They knew about the Black Madonna in the Roman Empire. The statue is still there to this day in the Greco-Roman Empire. The remnants of it, the Black Madonna statue is still there. These people knew the truth. These people knew the truth. But they don't want to give y'all the truth. Why is that? Because there is an agenda by the archonic force dealing with your reptilians, your greys, your Pleiadians, and all these other negative beings that are out there, the insectoids that absolutely hate our people. Okay? Alright? Alright? And some of these other ones that are out there, they deal with the human race and they try to bring them here to create an issue for us. Alright? Right? They knew they couldn't fight us straight up. They knew they couldn't fight us straight up because the last time when they were the Hyksos, when they tried us, we demolished them. Okay, they tried to fight us straight up, and you see what happened. They couldn't win against us. Okay, all right. They tried to come fight us by surprise as usual. They come out of nowhere and start attacking, and we handled them. So now they want to create some kind of scheme, you know, using the human race as a distraction to try to, you know, create some type of issue down here on the planet. And now look at our people. Look at the position that we're in, socially, politically, everything else, everything that you can look at. We're at the bottom. Why is that? You think that's not? You think that's not by design? Of course it is. They're afraid of you guys reconnecting this connection that y'all have with the Christ energy, because you are Christ beings. How do you know this? Because you're the only people on the planet who have all of the elements in your body. You guys literally have every single element in your body. You even have elements from different planets in your body. This is why they keep talking about carbon 12, or I'd rather call it carbon 13, because that's really what it is. Carbon 13 cannot be found anywhere else on the planet but in your bodies. You even have people admitting that the so-called black race is clearly superior. You even have people admitting this all over the internet if you know where to look. Because they know that there's something somehow different about you. They know it. And then they see y'all all out here damaged in the inner cities. They see the ghettos. They're looking at the ghettos, the projects, in the inner cities. They're looking at all these incarceration rates, all this death that's going on, the gang violence and all this stuff, the police murders and all this other stuff. They see all this stuff going on, and people are paying attention. I had a conversation with a so-called white man, yeah, back in about around the time COVID was like in the midst of its insanity, around 2020, 2021, yeah, 2020. And we were talking, and I had another friend there with me. We were working at the job, and we were sitting down, and we were just having our break. It was about an hour. And we were sitting down talking, and we were talking about all kinds of things, politics and all kinds of things, and history and stuff like that. We were just talking, discussing this stuff, and we met this Caucasian man that was there. Really nice guy. Really nice guy. Had nothing bad to say about him. He actually seemed like a decent person. We were sitting down talking, and he surprised me. You know, because while we were talking, he understood that I understood many things that most people out here that's watching TV, these people that are blind out here, they don't understand. We were talking about a lot of deep stuff. And, you know, I made sure, you know, not to try to go overboard, you know. Just give as much information that's required, not to go overboard. But then he's told me something. He said, listen, people have a misunderstanding. I said, well, he said, people are looking at at this guy Jesus or the Christ or whatever the case may be, and these religious people just still don't get it to this day. And I said, what do you mean? He said, look, man, let's just be quite frank. These people, they looking at Jesus and all this, and they trying to worship this guy and all this other stuff. And I keep saying this, are you sure that that's really him that you're looking at there? You sure you don't want to look back to see what the heck is really going on around here? And I said, well, he said, look, man, this guy Jesus, it is so obvious, man, what's really going on here. These churches and stuff like this, they clearly have something against y'all. Because the real images are actually out there, and the Pope in the Vatican already knows it. He's seen there praying to it almost every week. He's there getting on his knees and all this. This is common knowledge at this point in Europe and stuff like this, man. The images are of black people. Okay? Those are the original images. Those are the original. Okay? They tested the material and everything. There's nothing older than these. Listen, man, Jesus was a black man. He was black. Okay? There's no way. Listen. Okay? Like, this guy that was doing all this great stuff, he was one of you guys. I don't know why these people coming around and just making up all these lies and stuff like this. And I said, well, and I turned to my friend and I said, listen, man, you see this guy right here? Did you hear what he said? This one right here is not stupid. My friend was just shaking his head like, man, that's crazy. And I'm like, see, this is what a little bit of research can do for you. This is why I push out this stuff. People need to understand, and yes, it matters. Look at what's happening to the original people to this day. Look at what's happening. You guys literally have lost everything. And these people keep killing your people and keep mistreating y'all and doing all this next level garbage. Stay getting attacked. All of your suffering, all the deaths, all that, it's all systematic. The system is responsible for all that. And it's the people that's running the system that's behind all that. And then the demons and these goddamn negative entities. Alright? I'd rather call them negative entities because a demon could be good or bad. It really doesn't matter. People don't even realize that. These negative entities are behind the government, the shadow government. They're behind all this. And they're listening to them. Because they came together in this attempt to attack you. This is why in 1492, when you guys lost power, the Moors lost power over there, which are our cousins. We're not the Moors, but the Moors are our cousins. You got different. You have them that's down here in America, and in Europe and other places, the Moors, and a lot of them, they know their bloodline lineage. Some don't. There was portals that opened up at a certain time frame, and you had certain Moors that were there at a certain time frame. They got ate alive by draconian reptilians. There was portals there that was there at a certain time, and they came in there and started attacking the Moors at that later time. They started attacking them, and so a lot of the Moors died. Not all of them, but a lot of them did when they were attacked by these beasts, by these negative entities. Okay, and this is why I'm saying people don't understand. And that was around the time when they lost their power due to many different situations. And we've talked about that in the past about what really went down. Yeah, and this is when you had them get on so-called slave ships or whatever you want to call it, and they were brought to America, which is that place. They ended up in what you call Jamestown, Virginia, at a certain time frame, and this is why we're talking about what we're talking about here. It needs to be understood that this is the real history here. Now, I have some videos I want to show you pertaining to this subject matter. Now, understand, I know some people are going to get in their feelings. I told you guys already. If you're going to come to this channel, don't come here with your, all this emotional stuff. I don't have the time for it. Okay? Alright? People that want to get disrespectful, people that don't want to act right, people that want to fight with somebody or something. Listen, don't come here with that nonsense. Okay? Because you will be ignored. Okay? Or you might even get blocked. Alright? Straight up. Because I know how people going to act with this video. I know how people going to act. Alright? People need to come off of this weakness that they're on and understand mentally. They need to understand what it is. Alright? Alright? This is what it is. And the fact that they even changed the image lets you know. It lets you know that there's some type of effort out here to keep these beings down. Why are you thinking Haiti over there in that land called Haiti? Those people are living hand to mouth. They live in the rags over there, man. And they had the greatest empires over there. They had the greatest stuff over there. They still have castles there to this day. So much went on over there. In that place we call the Dominican Republic. That's where my ancestors descend from. That's where my family members descend from. But the reason why I'm saying this is because look at the effort that went on over there by these people that came over here to try to steal and take over and colonize. Look at the effort that they put in trying to destroy Haiti. Look at the effort that they put in. They lost that fight, but at the same time, Haiti's in terrible conditions because of it. People suffering over there, living hand to mouth. It's insane. It's terrible, man.
So, anyways, I want you guys to look at some of this stuff that I got here for you, and I'll come back in a second. Okay, so we have this video here dealing with the Black Madonna and the baby that you guys like to call Jesus. A lot of people like to call Yashua Ben Yousef. These two individuals were Moors from Spain who came from the planet Saturn. And in this instance, you see the humans respecting, idolizing, and worshiping what appears to be a black female and a black baby boy. And these two particular beings, the reason why they're divine, holy, and powerful, it is because of the fact that they are what's known as angelic beings. Angelic beings come from a royal bloodline called the Anunnaki bloodline. And this bloodline is dealing with carbon-based beings who are celestial entities from higher dimensional realms who fell down here at a certain time period and are now going to become immortal celestial entities once again. And there will be other brothers and sisters who will come in onto the planet in their immortal forms, and they will come here for the retribution, the revenge, and the takeover of what belongs to them on an ancestral bloodline connection. This means that the people that you call black, the people that you call, a lot of the ones with the carbon blood in them called Hispanic, the Africans, Brazilians, the Negritos in Asia, the Afro-Mexicans, not the regular ones, the Afro-Mexicans, and all the other, you know, the Australian Aborigines, the Africans, which are really Sumerians, and all these other groups are going to take back what belongs to them. Now watch this video here.
This is the great Ancestral, the real one. We were in a place where St. Faustina was, where she stood, where she prayed. Remember, at the church in Warsaw. Yesterday, we were in Yashua, where St. Maximilian stood, prayed, slept. You know, he founded that church that we had Mass in yesterday. Well, today, we are in a place where all of them have been. St. Faustina, if you read in her diary, she came here many times. And she said when she was here gazing upon the image that your own eyes are seeing right now, she was lost in prayer. And hours went by. St. Maximilian has been here many times. Actually, the first time that I came to Ancestral many years ago, we got a tour of the sacristy with all of the old books. And one of the priests said, "Come, I will show you something." Because when you're a visiting priest, you sign the book. It shows your name, where you're from, and what the date is. So he flipped back many years. Guess whose name was there? Maximilian Kolbe. He came here to celebrate Mass. St. John Paul II was here many times as a priest, as Archbishop, Cardinal Archbishop, and then as the Pope, he came here. And we even, as you know, right above me, it's his sash with the blood when he was shot in St. Peter's Square in 1981. Blessed Jerzy Papiełuszko, you name the Polish saint of blessed. So much devotion, there is so much love that is shown to Our Lady, the Black Madonna, Our Lady of Częstochowa. When I had my conversion to Catholicism many years ago in 1992, I was shown many images of Our Lady from around the world. And you know the one that really drew me and got my attention? This one. Because I asked people, what's up with the stuff on her face? It didn't make sense to me. I thought, is that a mistake? You know, why would they not fix it? But they told me the history, and then I was even more drawn to it. And that image, you know, with thieves that wanted to steal the jewels that were there and scarred her. And it's almost like she's looking at us now saying, console me. See, that's what she has for us. So she's the mother of mercy. She is the queen of mercy. So my friends, we need to run to Our Lady. Never forget where you're at right now. You won't. This is a bucket list. This is something you will remember for the rest of your life. You may never be back there again, but you're gazing upon the image that so many people would die to see. So many people would give everything to make a pilgrimage like this. And you're here. You're in the place.
See, you got to understand, these people know who we are. These people know what the hell's going on. They just don't want you to know what the hell's going on. See. And you see, the worst part about it is the fact that the true image of this person that's famously known as Jesus, otherwise known as Yashua Ben Yousef, the Mashiach, or whatever the case may be, this particular being who is a Moor, this particular person was real. This person did come on the planet and start doing many of things and did reincarnate on the planet. And, you know, much is not known about the process of that he went through to learn what he needed to do to be able to come on the planet. He studied under Shaolin monks, in case you guys don't realize this. People don't even realize this. He unlocked greatness within himself, and what I'm saying is, these people in Europe, Spain, Rome, you know, Czechoslovakia, and all these other places, Italy, the Vatican, and Rome, and all this, these people know the truth. This is why you see the Pope Francis over here praying to this. Look at it. Look at the fear in his eyes. Yep. She's looking right back at you. And he knows if these beings ever come back, our asses as human beings is going to get dealt with. Yeah. While you sit there and pray and try to worship on her and the child, you're out here sending out orders for the indigenous aboriginal people to get slaughtered out here. It's freaking ridiculous. And then you guys push these religions all over the planet to confuse the original people all across the world. Almost every damn body's a Christian now. Almost everybody on the planet's a damn Christian now. And this is not to attack nobody on a religious level, but yo, know your damn history. This is the Black Madonna over here. This is the original portrait of this woman with her baby boy. This is ridiculous how all these churches out here masquerading some white man as some kind of divine deity. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They force that shit on slavery, all this other nonsense. They try to force this down our people's throat about this white man being your God and your Lord and your slave master and all this other stuff. This was all constructed to destroy y'all. Teach y'all that y'all nothing out here. You should be afraid. You should be. They know the truth about y'all. The only thing is, a lot of you guys don't know the truth about yourselves. And this is why I make videos and I make so much content. Okay? Check it out.
Black Madonnas in Europe and Spain. There are numerous Black Madonnas in Europe and elsewhere, generally found in Catholic and Orthodox countries. There are about 400 to 500 Black Madonnas in Europe, depending on how they are classified. There are at least 180 Vierges Noires in France, and hundreds of non-medieval copies as well. Some are in museums, but most are in churches or shrines and are venerated by the faithful. A few are associated with miracles and attract substantial numbers of pilgrims. There are also numerous Black Madonnas in Africa, the Americas, and Asia. The most famous Black Madonna in Europe is probably the Black Madonna of Czestochowa, or Our Lady of Czestochowa. Several pontiffs have recognized the venerated icon, beginning with Pope Clement XI, who issued a coronation of the image on September 8, 1717. The best known Spanish Black Madonnas are the Virgin of Guadalupe in the town of Guadalupe in the Cáceres province of the autonomous community of Extremadura, the Black Virgin of Montserrat in Catalonia. The sanctuary of Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe was the most important of its kind in the medieval kingdom of Castile. She is venerated at the Real Monasterio de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe. The Black Virgin of Montserrat, in Catalan, Mare de Déu de Montserrat, is also known by other names, such as in Catalan, La Moreneta, a name equivalent to La Morenita, the Virgin of Guadalupe who appeared at the Tepeyac, later Tepeyac Hill. With the expansion of Mexico City, the hill is now located inside Gustavo A. Madero, the northernmost delegación or borough of the Mexican Federal District. There is a significant historical link between the Black Madonnas of Guadalupe, Spain, and Montserrat, and subsequently between the Black Madonnas of Spain and La Morenita, the Dark Virgin of Guadalupe, patron saint of Mexico and later of the Americas. These times...
Look at what Gina Maria Colvin Hill just put up. What is it? Yesterday on October 10th. Look at what she just put up. Dealing with Nibiru.
Look at that. That is Wolf Creek Pass at 1355. You can see it on here in the FAA webcam. It looks like in Nibiru. Look at that, you all. You know that that is not normal to see that in the sky. It isn't at all. Not at all, you all. There's been some really strange clouds, and I don't know if this one's getting ready to drop off. It probably is. Hello there.
This is Wolf Creek in Colorado.
Timestamp 1355, and it's the very first one on this. Let's see how I've got this going. It's the very first.
This planetoid is supposed to be Nibiru.
It's nighttime there.
And look how close it is to the planet right now.
Call off that webcam because it's like the very first one. Look at that, you all. We gonna look at that. Wow, is that not colorful? Yeah. Boom. Boom. That's it. It's gone. You can look at the few images that they had of it. It is kind of wild looking. I have not seen that color before. I really haven't with it. I've seen the red, but not this color right here. And it's getting ready to drop off the live webcam is what's happening. Right there, and you can see it's like at the 1355 on the FAA webcam at Wolf Creek Pass. Let's zoom it up and see what we can see. It's kind of rainbowy looking. Hello, you all. Yeah, I've heard of the Final Days channel. I have. Look at that. Does that not look strange to you? What on earth? I've not known, 1955, I've not known Nibiru to look like this. This is really strange. It does look like a wormhole or something. Look at the colors on it. Okay, it's 1355. It won't be long until this one right here drops off, I think. Look at this. Oh, wow. Hello, Susan B. Honey. It looks like CERN to you. You think it is a portal trying to open? I wouldn't be surprised. It would make a beautiful portrait. It really would, like a painting or something. And again, this is the FAA webcam. I know. Look at all of these impacts. It is really wild. Look at that circle in the middle. I've not seen anything like this before. It's supposed to be like Nibiru or something, but look at the color of it. It's in the sky. It's rotating because as we zoomed up, whatever it is, it's rotating around because these circles are not staying in the same place. They're not. Let me find this thing right here.
Yeah, check this out. I want you guys to check this out. This is what's going on with our sun, the regular sun.
I want to go back to the sun now, and I want to share with you guys videos that have been shared with me. I've seen this before, this phenomena, over the years, but I've never had 3 videos shared with me in such a short period of time. This first video footage was sent in by Connie from South Florida, and she said she happened to notice as she was out working on her camper here, she happened to notice what seemed like the sun flickered. You can see the sun's up in the sky, there's no clouds, so she began recording the sun. This was from October the 5th in the morning of 2022. And you can clearly see it looks like the sun is doing some sort of pulsating in the sky. So I received Connie's video from South Florida, and then I received another video from Southwest Florida. Sanibel Island goes back to September 13th of 2022. And you can clearly see on this day there were no clouds in the sky, just like Connie's video, and the sun appears to be pulsating. Could be some sort of a processing anomaly, I don't know. But Connie, in the first video that I shared with you guys, she claimed that she noticed the light, the daylight, flickering. That's what compelled her to record the sun. This next video was sent in by Brendan out of Connecticut, and this video was from October the 7th of 2022, less than 48 hours ago. This was detected by his Nest camera on the front of his house. And as you're going to see in this video, as the sun entered the field of view of his Nest camera, you can clearly see that the sun looks like it's pulsating. I don't know if that's because the trees are maybe interfering with the light and the camera is attempting to focus on the extreme bright light and just simply cannot. Not quite sure what's going on there, but I've received video footage like that in the past, but I've never received 3 in less than a month. So if you guys have noticed anything like that, please leave a comment down below in the comment section, because Connie down here in South Florida, she claims that she noticed the light flickering, and once again, that's what compelled her to take...
All right, let's talk a little bit about the sun. What is going on with the sun? Why is it flickering like that? I'm going to tell you why. Our atmospheric sun, Septaraman, Nibiru, our planet, the regular sun, and all these planetoids that may be very nearby, these planetoids are communicating with each other, and communicating with the sun, the moon, the planet, Nibiru, Septaraman, the black sun up there, and whatever else. They're all communicating. And while they're communicating, they're sending out extremely high vibrations, extremely high frequencies, extremely complicated mathematical equations. They're talking to each other, they're communicating, and they're sending energies, primordial energies, very high power radiation based energies, plasma, and all kinds of other kinds of very, very special and intricate information. And they're talking to each other and communicating, and they're trying to figure out how can we eliminate the virus program that's on the planet right now. How can we find a way to do this? And as you've seen the situations that I showed you in the last video with people dropping dead and all this, you see how hot it's getting, right? You see what the hell's going on, right? The planets are communicating because it's getting ready for what we've been talking about, this whole alien invasion type deal. I mean, this stuff has been brewing for a while now. Okay, all right. I've been talking about this, the whole thing about Nibiru coming back for years. You guys know this, all right? And we've been talking about this stuff. You see people dropping dead and all that, and then you see these people want to get you injected. You know the whole deal, and you know why. And the whole 9 yards and whatever else, because they're afraid of you guys shifting over when the planets finally figure out how to get rid of all the viruses and whatever, and that's coming. Okay, this is coming to a neighborhood near you. You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. It is what it is. It's been predestined. It's going to happen no matter what. This is not to scare nobody. This is not to attack nobody, but this is the reality, and it's been predestined by the Hopis. There's no way to stop this. Okay? All right, it is what it is. It has to happen. Okay? It has to happen. Okay? The judgment is here. Armageddon is here. The apocalypse is coming. Well, it's already here, but it's getting to its higher states. It's getting to its climactic point. It's getting to all that, you know, insanity going on the planet. We talked about this and the things that we're going to see at this time. And what I'm saying is that it's blinking. The sun is blinking like that because it's communicating with Tiamat, the planet, our planet. We call it Earth today, and it's communicating and it's doing certain things. You're going to see a lot more of that, and eventually you're going to get that solar flash that we talked about, when the sun just does that flash and it affects everything down here. That's also going to happen too. We're talking about a multitude of situations. Why am I bringing this up? Because everybody don't understand. All these religious people that just don't seem to understand what the hell's really going on. You've been had by the white man and whoever else who's pushing the human race, pushing all this false indoctrination. You've been had. For all our people that are still on this nonsense, you've been had. Okay, all right, you've been had. They have you as a fool lollygagging around here, not knowing what the hell is what. They make billions of dollars. Joel Osteen, Creflo Dollar, and all these other cats that have these multi-mega churches and all this, they're steering y'all down the wrong pathway. Okay? Alright? Alright, things has gotten so bad with this stuff, it's ridiculous. And so many people are leaving the churches because they're starting to realize, wait a minute, this just ain't it. This just ain't it. Because they're starting to wake up and they're starting to do a lot more research, and they're starting to figure out, wait a minute, something don't feel right. Something's not right here. You're right. Over here on this channel on SIT, your boy Sirius over here, we give you tangible evidence to prove that the original people are the angels and the gods and all this other stuff. They are that. This is why you saw the Black Madonna and her son, who was running around healing people and knowing all this great stuff. And look how look at how you know these people tried to trial him and whatnot. You know, they tried to treat him the wrong way because they knew that it was so-called whatever you want to call Messiah, the Mashiach, coming back to try to put things in order, whatever. They want to treat him the wrong way. And no, he did not get crucified. All right, like I keep saying this over and over again. You know, and I keep saying this. No, Yashua Ben Yousef, whatever this man's name was that was there in the time frame, this man, okay. All right, and believe it or not, I'm going to tell you guys something. All right, get ready for this. All right. Not only was he not, I repeat, he was not crucified. He didn't bleed out and shed his blood, sacrifice his life and all this for your sins. No, that's just this nonsense that these people are telling you. The human race and this white man running around telling these lies and stuff like this. So you people won't be responsible for your sins and stuff like this. They just want you guys to run around here lawless and reckless, talking about he died for somebody's sins. Listen, man, ain't nobody out here dying for the bad stuff that you do. You got to take responsibility and accountability for your terrible actions. Period. You understand? I don't know where they're getting this nonsense from, and I'm going to tell you this also. This man, this guy you call Yashua Ben Yousef, the Mashiach, whatever case may be, this man that was running around doing all these special things, believe it or not, guys, right now, I'm going to tell you the truth. And I know who he is, too. He's here, down here with us on the planet. Yes, he is. He's here with us. He reincarnated a while back, like 30, 40, 50 years ago. He already reincarnated down here. He's an older man right now. He's here with us. I'm just telling you the truth. Some people may think that this is wild and out there and whatever, outlandish, may think whatever they want to think in their head. I don't care. I know the truth. That's why I teach the truth on my channel. Okay? I don't care what nobody says. You got people, I put up content, put up information. People want to fight with me in the comment section. People want to fight. Listen, I'm not fighting with you. I'm not arguing with you. What I put up here is what it is. You don't like it, get out of here. That's it. Not arguing with nobody. I don't have time for you know, the ignorance and the stupidity and the nonsense and people that don't want to listen and try to understand what somebody's trying to tell them. I don't have time for that. Those that want the information, you come on here and we will discuss these topics. Those that don't want to come up here and they want to, you know, oh, I don't know, and I want to fight you on this, and I want to debate you on this, and I have people still hitting me up about debating and stuff. Listen, there is no truth. There is no debate when you're dealing with the truth. There is no debate. All right? This is what it is. All right? And yes, they were Moors. Yeah, they're our cousins. We're not Moors. You know? We're not Moors, but our cousins that are the Moors, that were in Spain or whatever the case may be, that came from the planet Saturn or whatever else, they came down here. Of course, you had some bad eggs, some bad apples that, you know, made deals with the wrong type of beings that started creating problems, and you had good ones as well that wanted to do right as well. But all these deals that were being made and stuff like this, and people selling out, and then apparently you might have had some spells that were put on certain people to make them act out in ways that they don't usually act out. I mean, you had so many things going on in this time frame. In these time frames, what is this, 711 AD to 1492 or whatever? So, yeah, you know, this is what it is. And our people need to understand is that our bloodline comes from divinity. It comes from greatness. And we must understand this. We must understand this. Okay? They're pushing everything out here possible to destroy your bloodline, to destroy the lineage, to destroy you as people in general. They're telling you guys to do drugs, kill each other out here. They're putting nanobite technology in your food to try to control you, to kill your own family. I mean, the music may sound good, but it's got bad messages in it. The drugs, all this stuff is just to destroy you guys and to stop you guys from accessing the ancient part of the bloodline DNA, to DEA, to become what you were always meant to be, a light body, a light energy being that came out of darkness. Okay? The light bringers, the ones that came from divinity. All right? All right? That's why they got the glow around their head. That's to ward off enemies. It's a certain level of intelligence you have to have, and level of power to have that around you. And on top of that, it wards away negative entities too. That glow around them, that's like that glow, that powerful glow, it wards off negative entities. It's extremely powerful too, and it means other things as well. And you got to understand that this is what it is. This is what it is. And it's just there's just so much that can be said. And to this day, you got people that don't even know the truth about the Black Madonna, what's really going on. I told people already. If in ancient Egypt, you had the Pharaoh there, and of course he was one of us. He was a darker complected person, right? He was, what you refer to as an Anunnaki. And he was one of us, and he was there. If this woman, the Black Madonna, you like to call her the Virgin Mary, that's what they like to call her. And you had her husband, whose name was, his real name, I believe, was Zaduk. I believe that's what his name was. I could be wrong. They used to like to call him Joseph or whatever. And she went with him, and they were fleeing to the mountainous areas from the Romans that were trying to attack ancient Egypt at the time, or whatever, Kemet. They were trying to attack. If they were running from the Romans at that time, when the Romans were Caucasoids now, after trying to intermarry with the original Romans, which were the Indo-Romans, which were the original Romans, who were dark people, who were related to us, the Anunnaki people. Those were the Indo-Romans in the earlier times. The later times, you had these people trying to steal power through intermarrying and stuff like this. Now they're in power, and now they want to create problems for the original people in Kemet and stuff like this. And if this woman is running away with her baby and her husband, or whatever the case may be, and they're running away from them and fleeing to the mountainous areas, running in that direction, and then they go into Kemet. The moment they go into Kemet, the Pharaoh is going to see them. The only reason why he would let them in is if they have his physical likeness. He's not going to let them in if they physically look like the enemy, who are now the Romans, who are Caucasoid, what you call the Tamahum, what you call a human. He's not going to let them in because they look like the oppressing force that's trying to come in and attack you. Why would you allow that? But you're going to let in a group of people that look like your family, though, right? You're going to let them in, though, right? Because they have your physical likeness, like what you're looking on the screen, right? Exactly. So they had to have been a darker colored people, or whatever you want to call it. They had to have been of the carbon spectrum. They had to have been. There's nothing else left to say. This lets you know what the deal is. People need to wake up out here. I see that there's Hispanic people coming on the channel also. That's good. More people waking up. They're starting to see stuff. A lot of, I see other groups of carbon-based people coming in at this time now. I'm starting to see that. I'm starting to notice that as well. I'm starting to notice other groups of carbon-based individuals coming in at this time. I'm starting to notice Hispanics, other groups of Hispanics that have the carbon blood in them. I'm I'm starting to see them coming in. I'm starting to see some people from Brazil coming in and looking at this stuff. I'm starting to notice people from all walks of life, all over the planet, coming to come watch this channel over here, and I appreciate it. Because you know what? This stuff needs to get talked about, and it needs to be understood what it is. Sorry about the noise in the background. Hold on. This stuff needs to get talked about. This stuff needs to be understood. Send this video to as many people as you possibly can. And also, there's people, what I'm hearing, I'm hearing about people sharing my stuff over on TikTok. I got people looking at my stuff over on TikTok, and I got people that's on TikTok looking at my stuff and coming over to the channel telling me that they saw my stuff over there. So, you know, people sharing my stuff, I'm not even, you know, people asking me to share my stuff, whether I said yes or no, I can't remember. I can't even remember. I probably did say yes, I don't remember. But people sharing my stuff, maybe I didn't. I don't know. People just love my content, and they're sharing it all over the place, and people coming over to come see it, you know, and whatever the case may be. And I appreciate it, man. And the more the merrier. The more people get to see this stuff, the faster people gonna wake up out here. Okay, we're talking about activation and all kinds of other things. Okay, look at my old videos where I talk about meditation on there. How to do it, the beginning process of how to do it. To reconnect with the universe, the source. The universal source. That's what these two beings right here in front of you were connected to. And because they connected themselves to it, the inner divinity that was in the bloodline started to come out. And this is what we're talking about, psychic abilities and all kinds of other great, very powerful things that only angelic beings and gods and all kind of other beings that are extremely powerful on a cosmic level can do. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video over here. It needed to get talked about. Okay, it's time already that this video get talked about. All right, because this is a very important one, and people over here are praying to Jesus and praying. And there is no Allah, there is no Jehovah, there is no Yah. I don't know who the hell is that. I don't know Yahweh and all this. There is none of these guys. There is no. Listen, man, y'all coming up with all kind of names. Yahweh Shai. I mean, you're coming up with all kind of madness. Stop reading that Bible. Stop reading it. If you're not. Let me say this one more time. Again, because people pissing me off. You people don't know what the hell you're talking about. You need to be a 360-degree Mason to be able to read that book and decipher it and decode it and be able to translate it on a cosmic level and to be able to translate it and to be able to fully understand it. Okay? You guys are reading it the wrong way and don't understand what the hell you're talking about. You don't. It's sad. Okay? Okay? You guys don't know what you're talking about, and you're getting confused, getting information misconstrued and all this. On top of that, your oppressor gave you that book because they needed you guys to be screwed up in the head. The book had a few good things in there. We're not denying that. We're not denying that. The keys of Enoch were very important. That brother put in a whole lot of information on what he saw down here. And guess what? Guess what? The keys of Enoch were removed. And guess what? The keys of Enoch were removed. This lets you know that there is a concerted effort by the people that are pushing out these copies of these books. There's a concerted effort to make sure that the proper information is removed. That was a whole lot of information gone. Okay? Alright? And the Israelites are these white people. That's them. Okay? You need to get your sources right. You need to get your facts straight. Okay? Okay? Egypt in your Bible is actually a planet. Okay? You guys need to wake up out here. Alright? You need to wake up. Alright? The Bible, you're not reading it right. If you don't have your third eye activated, don't bother reading the book. Because you're wasting your time and wasting everybody else's time. coming up here and preaching, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't have no knowledge because you don't activate yourself. You don't have no knowledge because you don't study. You don't have no knowledge because you can't decipher information around you to find the truth. All right? I don't mean to be disrespectful or nothing, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys. A lot of people running around out here don't know what they're talking about. Get your facts straight. Get your sources right. Because I don't know everything, but damn it, when I know something, I'm going to tell you. This is the real image of the beings that were there at that time frame. This is what it is. This is what the origin of it. And you see that everybody seems to know the truth, and other than the people that's out here worshiping the wrong stuff and doing all this other stuff. And also another thing, you have the power in you. The elemental people, the Anunnaki people, the so-called black and all this. You guys already have the power in you. You don't need to be calling Jesus and all this other stuff. You got the power in you. You were created out of a special bloodline. You don't need to be calling this guy every 2 seconds. I mean, let this guy eat. Let this guy sleep. Let this guy, I mean, you guys call him for everything. You guys call him for everything. Even for things that don't make no sense. Leave the guy alone. If I was him, I think I'd be going freaking mental right now. I'd be going crazy. Because every minute you guys calling this guy, Jesus, 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 Jesus. If I was him, I would have went crazy. All these people calling me. They can't even get my name right. They don't even know what the hell I look like. But they stay calling me though. I would have went crazy. It's a bad joke, man. And this white man is to blame for all this. So you know something's fitting to happen in his bloodline. Alright? People don't like it when the truth come out. They don't like it. They don't like it. The truth irritates them. It bothers them. It hurts their feelings. I'm not here to hurt nobody's feelings, but I'm going to keep it real. You saw the planetoid over there. It's there for a reason. It's getting closer. And other planetoids are getting closer. And now they're seeing some type of giant black cube next to the sun and all this. And they're seeing it and they're like wondering what the hell's going on. That's alien technology. That's Anunnaki technology. Moving all the planetoids even closer to each other. It's almost wrap-up time for this stuff, guys. So with that being said, this is Sirius Inner Temple. This is SIT, your boy Sirius, and I'm out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video wherever you can. This is your boy. I'm out. We'll talk about this stuff, all these other topics later on. New videos coming on the way. Peace. See you guys later. This is your man here, Sirius, at Sirius Inner Temple, SIT. Signing off. Alright. See you guys later. Enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sirius out.